Welcome to another week of the somewhat mid-afternoon show. I am your host, Mike Ryder, and we are filmed in front of a live studio audience of one.
Yeah! Woohoo!
There has been some very creative people over in YouTube land creating many masterpieces of music during this time. Some of them are very educational, such as this song off of Baby Shark that is now about washing your hands. Let's take a listen. Okay, that's enough. That's enough of that. We get the point. Some other very brilliant songs that have been made during this time is instead of Ice Ice Baby, we have Stay Inside Baby. We have Hello from the Inside. We have Super Bad Transmittable Contagious Awful Virus instead of Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. We have Staying Inside. And then, of course, we have We Didn't Spread the Virus instead of the fire. And if you thought those jokes weren't bad enough, here's your worst joke of the day. Did you hear the joke about the germ? Never mind. I don't want to spread it.
Oh, yeah!
We'll be back after this commercial break.
Look at God's creation. Absolutely stunning. So much to explore. And so many adventures await. So much to see. So many places to go. So many people to meet. You have a lifetime to explore. Stay home. It will keep you and your loved ones healthy. You may want to quarantine with your friends. Don't. That's why we have video chat. I promise you he's happy. Stay home.
All right, welcome back. We're here with our guest. He will never live down the time that he said nobody is special. It is Brady. Welcome, Brady.
Hey, thanks for having me, Mike.
Wow, thanks for being here. All right, we're going to play a game. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, a couple of weeks ago, we played a game called Fibbage, which I think
All right, yeah.
you are...
Great game. It's a great game.
Great game. So I took some of the questions from there.
All right.
And also the answers that were put by the players, who were myself, Jared, Sophie, and Danny.
Okay.
So we're going to see if you can get the right answer.
Probably
or
won't.
whose answers you pick the most.
Okay.
All right. So these are facts with fill in the blanks, and you have to try to guess what the right answer is. All right.
All right.
You ready?
Yep.
A science student in Nepal has created an innovative solar panel that is far cheaper to make than a traditional solar panel because it's made with A, plastic, B, sheet metal, C, dirt, D, flexi metal, or E, human hair.
Human hair. That's well, it's got to be like wacky enough for like somebody to put that question in there. So I feel like metal is kind of like a bit of a lame answer, you know? Yeah. Like plastic would melt. That doesn't make sense. It just melt if it's
really
a solar
going
panel.
with this logic.
Yeah, I like you gotta think these things through. I'm thinking human hair. I think that's too crazy for anybody to think of, so
Okay.
it's got to be the real answer.
Okay, and it is. Human hair is.
Look at that.
the
Logic
right
always
answer.
wins.
There you go. We had plastic by Jared, sheet metal was Sophie, dirt was myself, and flexi metal was Danny.
I'm just curious how would that work?
I don't know. I just
Yeah.
picked something that was cheap and dirt cheap. you
That's
know?
fair. It is dirt cheap.
I think I did have one person pick my answer, so I did get some points on that. All right, second question. Johnny Depp was made an honorary member of the Comanche Nation, given a descriptive Comanche name. His Comanche name, Ma-Wu-Me, means A, shapeshifter, B, Jack Sparrow, C, nice beard, D, man of many talents, or E, leader of the sea.
Wow. It's great because I actually just watched Pirates of the Caribbean last night, so I'm really primed for this question.
It's a great,
it's a good movie. It's got to be what is it, Man of the Sea? Was that the last one?
There was Man of Many Talents and Leader of the Sea.
Leader of the Sea. Actually, we'll go with Man of Many Talents. I like that. That's
Man
good.
of Many Talents was
good.
Sophie's answer.
Sophie.
Correct answer was shapeshifter.
Somebody named him shapeshifter?
Yeah, that's what his name means. He's a man. He is a man of many talents, so he can take many roles and many shapes, I suppose.
I guess so. It's a stretch.
Jack Sparrow was my answer. Nice beard was Jared's answer, and Leader of the Sea was Danny's answer, which came in a close second to Sophie's answer there. All right, question 3. Mohammed Khurshid Hussain is in the Guinness Book of World Records because he is able to blank very quickly with his nose. All right, A, blow a cup across the table. B, pluck eyebrows. C, drink ketchup. D, type. And E, shoot out milk.
See, drink ketchup is a questionable one because you usually, drink.
Yes, but it's at least something you could possibly do.
I guess it's possible, yeah. The whole
pluck eyebrows?
Pluck eyebrows. That'd be impressive. That would deserve a spot in the world records book.
That's true.
For sure. What the first one was blowing cups across the table?
Yes.
Yeah, let's go with that one. That seems realistic enough to happen, but unique enough to be in a world record.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That one was Danny's answer.
Danny, wow.
The correct answer was type.
Type.
He's the world's fastest nose typer.
Do you think you would bruise your nose after that, just smashing it?
Or develop a callus on it.
Callus from typing with your nose.
You learn really quickly not to go too hard into the.
Yeah, I guess you just gotta get the perfect amount of click in there.
You get that blood all over your keyboard.
It's not good. I wonder how many times it's actually happened to him. Just bloody keyboards.
We'll track him down and ask him a question.
Give him a call.
Pluck eyebrows was Sophie's answer. Drink ketchup was Jared's, and shoot out milk was my answer.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got one right answer. One time you picked Sophie's, and one time you picked Danny's. All right, number 4. New Mexico Senator Duncan Scott successfully got a bill passed in New Mexico Senate requiring psychiatrists testifying in court to wear a blank. A, feathered hat. B, lab coat. C, fake mustache. D, dress. E, wizard's hat.
I just want to know what person would think dress would be the way to go.
Okay,
just,
yeah. That would be wacky enough.
That'd be wacky enough. But I think a feathered hat makes the most sense.
Feathered hat?
Yeah, I could see that happening.
Sure. Feathered hat was Sophie's answer.
Sophie, you're killing me.
Killing me. Yeah. The correct answer was a wizard's hat.
It was actually a wizard's hat?
It was actually a wizard's hat. So it got passed through the Senate, but it made it to the next step and got vetoed and didn't pass through that.
Yeah,
so it's not actually.
Yeah, it's not surprising.
Yeah. Lab coat was Jared's. Fake mustache was mine. And dress was Danny's.
Danny. It's a bold choice. Bold choice.
All right. The last question. All right. Penthorophobia is a constant fear of your blank. A, thumbs. B, mother-in-law. C, own pets. D, the ground. E, teeth.
Can I get the word again? Just
Penthorophobia.
Penthorophobia.
Yeah, I wrote that down, not thinking about how I would have to actually pronounce that.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the mother-in-laws. I feel like that's a common enough phobia too.
Mother-in-law is the correct answer.
Perfect.
Hey, all right, so you got 2 right. You picked Sophie's twice. You picked Danny's once.
Wow.
Other answers: that thumbs was my answer. Own pets was Danny's. The ground was Jared's. And teeth was Sophie. And the ground didn't really fit in grammatically.
Well, and also, if you were afraid of the ground, would you want to go to space and then just live in space? Yeah. That'd be the only solution realistically.
It's true, and it depends on your definition of ground.
Yeah, what is it? I guess,
It's space. If you're in the space station, it still has
That's
you're
fair.
just surrounded by ground, so you can stand on anything.
Oh, so that's probably the
It's
worst
probably the
place
worst spot to be.
actually. Maybe they'll realize that once they get up there too. It's
Yeah.
like, what have I done?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
worst spot. We better go to a commercial break because I bet Jeremy's jumping back there telling me to go to commercial. So we'll be right back.
Look at all these people, going about their day, walking across the street. They're all flawed. You know why? They think they're special, when they are not. See these people too? Yeah, not special. No one is special. You know who else isn't special? You. Yeah, that's right, you. No one is special except for me, Brady, the amazing sponsor for this ad. Well anyway, enjoy the rest of this non-special episode with Mike Ryder, your host.
Welcome back. We're back here with Brady, and we're going to go and chat a little bit about your testimony. And as we always start with testimonies, we want to ask what drew you to be in a relationship with Christ in the first place?
Yeah. Well, I grew up in a Christian home, so the kind of God's always been around, been a component of my life. It didn't really become like a more kind of central theme in my life until I was 13 years old, and I started actually going to Christian like middle high school. So I kind of asked my parents to send me into a Christian school. I don't actually really know where I kind of got that thought because I was somewhat young, so I wasn't really thinking about it, but it just kind of came about one day. So I guess that was kind of the first time I really experienced kind of God telling me to go out there, and then ever since God's been kind of a big part of my life.
Okay, yeah. Awesome. So it's kind of been like that gradual.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't a pinpoint.
It wasn't like a big moment kind of where I'm like, God is for me kind of thing. It's just
Yeah.
been like kind of easing into that. And like even still I've experienced like lots of growth. It's been more of a gradual kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Yeah. But what one of those kind of gradual growth things has been? Like, what has it been a kind of a way that God's been transforming you, even if it's been over that kind of slow period of time?
yeah, I'd say probably one of like the more, I guess, kind of standalone events would have been just recently when I decided I wanted to get baptized. So that was about a year and a half ago. I just got baptized. And it was really just like something that God put like really on my heart, and I had like a big rush for it. I wasn't really like, oh, I want to get baptized at some point, because I was always thinking about that for like years, you know. But it just kind of like really like one night, I was just in conversation with some family friends and stuff like that, and I was like, really want to get baptized. I want to do it now. It was a big kind of rush that kind of God put in my heart, and sure enough, like just like a few months later, we kind of made it happen. I was able to get baptized with a few of my friends as well, which was a really cool experience all around. And that was something that I really felt like assured that God was really like wanting me to go into that direction, and then I was really wanting to kind of make that further step with Him, kind of thing.
Yeah. So you really felt kind of that prompting and that assuredness. Like,
yeah. It wasn't kind of something that I needed like convincing of. It was just something in prayer that kind of really decided wanting to pursue, and I wanted to pursue it right away. And I really felt God was making the right things happen at that time, especially because at that time I was living in Winnipeg, going to school out there. So it was just something that kind of really wanted to happen here.
Awesome. How about share like this memorable experience that you've had with God, or something that you really remember is like this big, or this answer to prayer that you will always remember?
Yeah, it's one of those kind of things. I always find it hard because we always say you want to practice prayer all the time and you want to try and talk with God, but it's always hard to define those moments when you're like, yeah, like that was like a big answer to prayer sometimes, right? Because God doesn't work necessarily in all these like kind of like upfront center ways. He's not like directly doing it, but it just kind of happens. So I'd say like definitely one of those kind of times where I felt kind of God's presence would be kind of even like in these last kind of couple months of the coronavirus, and kind of how we can't meet like in person at church and stuff like that. And this is why we're even like kind of here today, is kind of how quickly we've been able to get everything set up at the church to like help live stream and all that kind of thing. I always remember we were just like kind of walking away from youth one Thursday night, and Pastor Brad just mentioned, hey, we have all the live streaming stuff coming in tomorrow, and it got pushed up like from a week or two later. And like that was to me like one message, like God was saying like, no, you need to like live stream right now. It's not like something that we're going to wait until like April or May to do. It needs to happen now, because at that time we didn't know that we weren't meeting the following week for church. We were just kind of assuming it was going to be as usual, but God really sped it up, made all the right things happen, and really kind of put the right people where they need to be to make that kind of all happen at once, which is really cool to see.
Yeah, I think that's an important thing to remind ourselves. It's like, it's not just about these big memorable things. Those are sometimes things that can stick with us and maybe encourage us in our faith, but also that recognition of, the everyday things that God's.
And it wasn't really something I was praying about, like I need live streaming to happen this Sunday. It was something like God foresaw and was able to kind of put in front of us, like, hey, you need to get that live streaming sorted out like now, so like other people can still be connected to the church even from home. And it's kind of after the fact now, looking back, I can kind of see God's hand on that, but I didn't see it like ahead of time.
Yeah, it's like, I think it was C.S. Lewis writes something about coincidences and how we always talk about coincidences. And he's like, to me, that sounds like God is doing something. Like a coincidence is probably just God moving in that way. Obviously, C.S. Lewis says it in a way better.
Probably a little
fluid way.
Yeah, a bit more of an academic tone.
He's a professional writer.
How
about a lot of your story it's been very recent stuff, but what else has God been teaching you recently?
I'd say something God's been, I guess, teaching me is just further kind of reliance on Him and kind of staying in touch with God instead of trying to do everything on my own. Kind of as myself, I've always been one of those persons that does everything independently and always want to go out and do it on my own. And I still continue to do that, but especially in these last like few years, especially probably about like I was saying, baptism like a year and a half ago, I've further more relied on Him and more relied on the people around me. And that's something He's been really encouraging me to do, I feel like. Just because, you can't do everything on your own. Sometimes putting all that pressure on yourself isn't healthy, and it's going to really kind of drag you down. So kind of working with other people and kind of relying on God more has really been beneficial for me, for my own like health. So
yeah, that's awesome. We can do immeasurably more, right? Just to throw in that, cheesy Bible verse. But it is true, even though it's cheesy. All right, well, thank you for coming, Brady.
Thanks so much for having me on here.
It's great to hear your story, and I'm sure there's some resonating points that have struck whoever's watching.
I hope so. I really hope so.
Yes. So it's good. So thank you for joining us. Thank you, Brady, for joining us. Thank you, Jeremy and Jamie, for helping film. And we will see you next week. Have a good, somewhat afternoon, evening.